All right, everybody. Well, welcome to this Zoom call, and we're also streaming this live on Instagram on the USO Outdoor Adventure Team account. So, but if you don't know me, my name is Michael. Glad to be here and with this awesome guy, close friend, Johnny Io, who's got some pretty exciting goals. He's got a pretty awesome story in general. We're going to tap into a little bit of that today. But basically his goal is to raise awareness for mental health. And then he's going to feature a little bit of information on Virginia Beach veteran rowing, which is Michelle, who runs that, is actually on this Zoom right now. And maybe we'll get a chance to talk to her a little bit too. And then the USO Hampton Roads Central Virginia Outdoor Adventure Team, which is the program I'm actually the director of, but Johnny was the previous director. So really exciting stuff going on with those two organizations. But Johnny, why don't we just kick this off properly? And so why are you doing this, like, from your perspective?
So, one, as some may know, I was on the 2018 USA Wounded Warrior Invictus team, and I rowed out in Sydney, Australia on the Concept 2. I wish it was on the water because it was good sun out there, but it was on the rower. But it was good. I didn't puke, but we did have a good placement. And then I competed in the Department of Defense Warrior Games on the U.S. Marine team. There wasn't rowing at the time, but there is now. And I found out how much I love cycling and swimming, how rowing is a good alternative, especially right now. You can't go swim inside until Jerry brings me to Lake Christopher and I can swim outside. But I wanted to always set goals. There was a point in my life that I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk. There's still times I'm in a wheelchair. It is what it is. Those days suck, but the days I'm on the road or I'm swimming or I'm cycling, those are good days. So by doing that, I always set goals saying, hey, I can do this. I know I can do this. Sometimes it's very painful, which today I'm sure about hour 3, it's going to be very painful. But we're going to show people how you can break through walls. Break them down, move some mountains, whatever you want to call it. What it is it's just about, hey, set some goals. I can get through it. No matter what you got going in your mind, adaptive sports or sports in general just help you produce those endorphins and help you fight through all that. It's not the be-all deal, but if you're able to live by being able to do the sports, hey, get out there and sweat, do it with your friends, talk trash with each other, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a better time that we could do this right now. One of the things that Johnny and I were talking about yesterday is, the mental health crisis that is going on is sort of being ramped up right now, right? Because everybody's stuck in their homes, they're away from their friends, they're away from a lot of their loved ones, and not able to get out and vent and do some of those exciting things that we do. So why not take an opportunity like this to do something cool? Obviously, not everybody has a rower in their house, but, creating some kind of a routine where you're still focused on fitness, right? Because one of the best benefits of fitness is your ability to release, right? And get your body to push a little bit harder. Not everybody has to row a marathon like Johnny's doing, but the whole key to it, right, is this is a time when we're isolated from friends and family because all this COVID stuff that's going on. We need to stay true to ourselves, self-health, all that stuff. So it's awesome. And Johnny's really done some amazing stuff over the years. So what do you want to talk a little bit about the show?
Yeah, definitely. So we, through the USO Outdoor Adventure Team, but definitely Michelle at the Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing. The first time Michelle rowed with me, she asked me if I did CrossFit. And I'm like, why? She goes, because they do not do the right form, right? So Michelle harped on me. She got me going. I found out that a 50 stroke rate is not the right way to go, right? Because you can do your power out of your legs. And once I found out, hold on, I'm a cyclist. I got some strong legs. I can use my legs to row the proper form and not hurt myself. Yeah, that program is amazing. She's not only the Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing, the director, she's the lead. She's also the Navy Wounded Warrior coach for the Team Navy for rowing, and she also teaches at Cox High School. So she does a lot, not just with military. She's in the community. We've seen it at the local Hampton Roads rowing competition we did, 2 months back. So she was out there coaching us, and then she had her students come over there with us, and then we were over there with her students, and it was just the atmosphere she creates to want you to get back on the rower because the seat is not soft. It's just amazing, right? So I never rode till I met her, and I got told when I went to Invictus, do a third sport. You have to do a third sport so you can compete. So I said, okay, when did my time's gonna be turning? And so she worked with me for about a month. Fortunately, my times in cycling or swimming were good enough, and this one was okay. And then she brought me to a level where I actually placed third in the world in the 4-minute race.
Wow.
So that's all thanks to her and her organization and the text at night. Make sure you come to practice in the morning.
Yeah, what's funny about Michelle when you meet her is like she's super sweet and cute, and all that. But when she gets serious about rowing, man, she gets loud. She turns it on for sure. So
You and wants you to come back.
I think my heart rate has jumped more in rowing sessions with Michelle because of her yelling than it is the actual stroke rate and all that stuff. But yeah, so she's here. She's local. She works a lot with adaptive athletes here. She works with a couple of our other local competitors. We're super thankful to have her. She's an incredible resource. So check her out on Facebook and Instagram. She's Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing, and find out more if you're in the area. And she does online training too. So that's a great thing. If you're in Wichita, Kansas, or wherever you are and you want to get involved, she's a great person to reach out to. So, and we're super thankful to have her, like I said. So Johnny's probably going to start warming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about the USO in Hampton Roads, Central Virginia, and our outdoor adventure team program. So a little bit about the background of it. If you're not familiar with it, this was started by Bob Newman, who's on this right now. You guys can see him on the Zoom call too, and Johnny. And it started over 3 years ago. They did some great stuff. They just got out, shared kind of the vision for the program. And you guys tell us, on the feedback on the rower, because I can't hear what you guys are hearing. So if it overtakes the voice and the communications, just let me know, and then I'll wrap it up. Okay, cool. So they got a grant to kick the thing off. It started with a kicker studio. So there's an actual facility on Little Creek Amphibious Base. It's right behind the Seal Heritage Center. The address there is 3136 11th Street. And what they are is a resiliency program that's peer-led. And that was done very specifically by design. If you are familiar with what's going on with mental health and suicide awareness, what we're seeing is people's ability to recover is happening based on their peer relationships, right? There's a lot of certainly when we're talking about the military, active duty, and people that are suffering with, TBIs or PTSD or a variety of other issues, oftentimes the people that keep them from doing something really dark are their closest friends and their peers. And so that's what we're running. So currently we have 3 different rooms in that facility. We have a kicker studio. If you're not familiar with kicker is a really high-end cycling training system. It's used by a lot of the professional race teams. It can change your wattage, the endurance, the different levels of intensity through a variety of workouts that we play. So we have 20 stations there. We're super excited that we're also able to do recumbent bikes for some of our adaptive people, also hand cycles. And what we're really fortunate about is T-Mobile recently just came on board as a sponsor for us, and they're actually funding 2 more hand cycles for us and 2 more recumbent cycles because our adaptive pool is actually growing right now. We actually have 6 athletes right now that are adaptive in some way, shape, or form. So the kicker studio is there. Once we all get out of this COVID thing, you'll see it again. Check out our links. Again, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you'll see we have an app we can send you to, which posts all of our different workouts. But the cycling studio is really kind of how this whole thing started off. And we have a tremendous core of people that are following us and involved. We actually are under construction with our second space right now, which is a conversion of an adaptive functional fitness space. It's being, again, this is all thank God, T-Mobile got behind us, saw our vision, and got really excited too. So they're sponsoring and putting together, helping us fund a adaptive functional fitness space and a yoga studio. So our adaptive equipment is all Rogue, very popular company in the CrossFit world, functional fitness space, all state-of-the-art equipment. It's all coming in waves right now, so we're getting that stood up. And again, the key there, guys like Johnny, we have 2 other people, girls locally, that are going to Navy trials and Invictus. And so we want to have a mechanism and a place for people like them to train and be able to prepare and get on track. At DoD Warrior Games and Invictus, there's actually strength components. So that's what we're trying to facilitate and help. And then obviously overall health and wellness. We have 4 interesting pillars at OAT. It's basically resiliency, wellness, nutrition, and sleep. If you can kind of think about how important and how critical those things are for athletes in general, and then also tied specifically into people that are, recovering from, any mental health issues or TBIs and stuff like that, all very critical things. And so we have, an educative side of OAT that we're trying to move forward. And then certainly getting around your peers and getting great workouts in, which you're going to witness today.
These 1,000 meters I'm doing this warm-up don't count.
Okay, these don't count, he was saying. He wants to make sure that you guys know that. So, and then Mike is down on the back. And Mike's actually up in Canada, and Mike does a fair amount of rowing events, and he's going to share his link too. He's got a kind of like an online virtual class he does every evening, I think at 6, you said, right?
Yeah, 6:15, Michael.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And then what time zone is that?
That's Eastern.
Okay, so Eastern, 6:15. So they do an online thing up in Canada. So we'll post that link too, just to, again, offer another cool place for people who want another, workout option for them. So the other cool new thing that T-Mobile has helped us bring on board is a recovery room. This is something that I saw a long time ago. One of the things that's neat is the level of, I would say, the way these athletes are pushing themselves. Certainly today is going to be an amazing example, right, of someone doing something really long and hard, But we have a lot of great people that come into our studio and do some of our other offerings, and they push themselves for an hour or 2, And one of the worst things that we could do after 2 hours of high intensity workout is to hop in our vehicle, drive 40 minutes right after, right? So not rehydrating, not refueling, not doing any of those recovery things. And one critical thing, especially for people that are trying to compete, that I wanted to bring into motion was both Hyper Ice and Normatec. So if you don't know the two, Hyper Ice is a sports therapy massaging machine. Very cool. You've probably seen it on social media somewhere. Well, Hyper Ice also just bought out Normatec, so there was a merger and acquisition that happened. And so Normatec is a pneumatic recovery product. And so we got 2 sets of both of those coming. Normatec is also sending us these amazing recovery recliner chairs. So our athletes will be able to do their workout. They'll be able to hydrate. They'll be able to get the needed nutrients on board, and then they'll be able to sit down for 30 minutes or 40 minutes afterwards, however much time they have to do the actual recovery. That's critical, because if you're thinking about it from a competitor's level, they don't need to just compete effectively and efficiently right now at the moment. They're probably going to be competing the next day. As Jerry's on here, she's a multiple Ironman athlete, so when they get into their window, world ranked too. So yeah. So again, super excited. That's a little bit about OAT. I mean, we've got, so right now our current offerings are cycling indoor and outdoor, running indoor, not indoor and outdoor, but on tracks. And then we have a variety of locations around the area that we run. We have the functional fitness side, which is partially stood up right now, but it will be certainly fully stood up in 30 days when all the equipment is in. So that's really exciting. We also brought on recently an unbelievably talented gal named Jacqueline Chirac. She runs an organization called Solidarity of Sisters. She's a spouse of an active duty person, and She's brought on an amazing yoga platform, some mindfulness stuff, meditative stuff, really exciting stuff. So rounding out kind of what we're really trying to organically accomplish with the outdoor adventure team and touch on a lot of those different points. But the future's bright. We have, hopefully this COVID stuff will break soon, but we have stand-up paddleboarding already lined up, which is super exciting. So as soon as the weather breaks and we can get out there and do it, we're gonna do that. We have sailing coming. We have geocaching. We actually have triathlon specific stuff that's being worked on behind the scenes with Jerry and Jeff Bayless. And then we have adventure racing. One of our longtime volunteers, and he runs a lot of our classes, Brent, who's out doing some crazy stuff today, is actually, we're standing up adventure racing too. And just to close the loop on it, because I know we got to get cranking, OAT isn't specific about just individual athletes like Johnny. We're trying to treat and help the entire family unit. So primary customers for us are active duty people, but also certainly the dependent spouse and then their children. And we have a lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So thank you guys for joining us here. I will unmute everybody. And if you have questions and things you want to ask Johnny, Noah and I will be here to field those questions, but we're going to get him rolling because he's got about 3.5 hours of excitement.
My first marathon.
On his first marathon. So, but thank you all for joining us. We're super thankful that you're here. And Bob says, Johnny, you're looking super fit, man. Tell us about the nutrition plan that you have been doing working up to this event. So share a little bit about your nutrition.
A lot of the nutrition, I'm going to be honest, I have lost 25 pounds since January 1st. So I used to just eat whatever I wanted, kill myself, and where I work out, and then I read because I always target it to the scale. Because of the oats pillar of nutrition, I've learned if you eat better, you'll recover better, which means you can now perform better. And I've seen dramatic gains in all of my performances because of that. My sleep's gotten better because I'm eating better. Today I'm fueled by I got some SIS goos and then a bunch of water bottles full of BCAAs from Mitch Aguilar's Smashing Frogs place over there in Chesapeake, Virginia. So another veteran-owned business that's taking care of some people. And if I run out of those, well, there's a bunch of water over there. I'll embrace the suck. So, all right. I got 42,195 on here. It will count down for me, and definitely when it hits 0, I will stop. All right. So currently my heart rate's at about 93, averaging in the 90s right now. I'll probably be averaging about 140, 150 the entire time. My goal is to do a 230 split, and every 5 minutes I'm going to do 5 hard pulls where it'll be in the 140 range, just to keep my split down, and which will help offset when I gotta refuel over here.
And my goal for today is just to make sure that I don't have a whole bunch of text messages from Michelle talking about my form, my proper body upright.
So 42,195. Let's see how this works. Oh, let me turn the music up a little bit.
Yep. And so what's cool is there's going to actually be 4 people rowing with Johnny today, 30-minute intervals. So we've got a couple people joining him too.
Let's do it. Long day in South.
Any questions on that one?
Nothing yet? You're waiting to see my face in pain.
Johnny, while you're going to be pacing yourself, what kind of stroke rate are you most comfortable with for like a long, for your those 230 splits, which is still impressive?
I'm going to keep 24 to 25 strokes per minute.
Wow, that's a powerful stroke. Nice.
When Joey comes, he'll forget what Michelle taught him in 230.
Yes, I suspect the Joey's young man persona will come out strong once he starts thinking about competing with you.
And what are you listening to, Johnny?
80% legs, the other 20% mind, shoulders, and back. Right now, it says my projected finish is 3 hours, 15 minutes. I'll see if I can beat that. Any questions coming up there?
That's Bob's question. If you get a new question, you see at the bottom on that toolbar, you see the yellow screen.
Oh, okay, got it.
Michael, what kind of stroke rate are you going to average for your? Because you said you're going to row about 10 or 12K, Michael, with him today.
I'm going to hang in for about probably a little shy of 10, Bob.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be just a little tiny bit lower than Johnny. I'm doing about a 22 stroke rate right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got fond memories of being in the boathouse with you guys all up there at Tuck.
I was,
Learning about stroke rate. I had no idea about it at all before. So,
yeah, no, that was a riot.
yeah.
Mine as well. It's nice to make the connection here and jump in.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming in. It's
Yeah, no, it's awesome. One of my, I use about an hour a day in exercise to kind of for mental health. One of my sort of one of my sort of things is that physical and mental activity have to kind of balance, you know.
Yeah.
So when your brain is moving, if there's a lot of physical activity, it sort of helps it kind of get to a more, I don't know, more of a steady state, right? Because it kind of thinks there's a reason why it's active.
Yeah, I was just reading about a study that being in a present state of mind is one of the most healthy things we can do for our mind, and that's what exercise does. When you're biking and cycling, you're just focusing on your present state of mind and not all the other stuff going on.
Yeah, because it isolates the thought pattern, right? Because you're focused on what you're doing instead of a lot of sort of other ancillary things. But for some reason, it's just experiential. I think there's a chemical balance there as well.
Yeah.
Because when the brain's active and the chemistry's moving, if the body's going, it thinks, oh, okay, there's a reason why I'm making all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think it's great that you do that with such intent for your 1 hour a day. And how many years have you been rowing, Mike?
gosh, I'd have to do math, Bob. So what's 54 minus 18?
I got to bust out the calculator because I'm just now having my second cup of tea. 36 years. There
Yeah.
you go.
So I started when I went to university. I was active before that. You know, I did, like everybody else in Canada, played a little hockey, a little baseball.
Only for like an hour.
And now I mix it up a bit. So I usually do, I don't do an hour steady a day. So usually what I do are 2 workouts, probably about 40 minutes each, one in the morning and one in the evening. And I keep the workouts a little bit shorter because I get a little more intensity, and I think it keeps the immune system a little bit stronger if you're not cranking too long at one single shot.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. I've been tapering my workouts for just that reason too, because I typically do about 200 miles or more a week. And I just know my immunity system kind of goes in the gutter when I'm training that hard.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, that's amazing. So you didn't start rowing until you were in college and you made the Olympic squad?
Yeah. So, yeah. I did a lot in the in-between time.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Once I started rowing, I rowed a lot. I kind of bugged.
Michelle,
We would do about, we would row probably, Olympic training was about 300 kilometers a week.
Holy cow.
So,
hey, Michelle, why don't you share a little bit about Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing? You got plug yourself, girl.
what's that?
So Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing is where I think we have a lot of fun when we train. We're a lot of mostly active duty veterans that are involved, but we also are open to spouses and dependents as well. I have a big passion for rowing, so my big thing is form. So I like to make sure somebody's technique is spot on. And that they have the confidence to go to any gym and feel like they're doing it right. I teach them really cool things like how to set your drag factor versus just setting your damper. Everyone thinks, oh, a 10, let me throw it to a 10. That's perfect. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing this right because I can row out a 10. And that's not true. It's a really good way to get hurt. So I teach you how to set your drag factor. You use your damper to adjust your drag factor. So if you're ever curious about things like that, I'm a really great resource. I coach locally as well with Cox Crew. So I work with high school students quite often. And we just got boats. So we just got 4 donated. So we'll be on the water soon. I know Bob's excited. And so it's very crucial that people are learning how to row on the erg before they go on a boat. And everything I teach on the erg, I teach you how that applies in the boat. So you're not just sitting there, and if your erg's moving, it's not supposed to move. Everyone says, oh, my erg's moving, I must be pulling really hard. Well, it's usually you're not applying your power properly, and that's going to negatively affect boat speed. So I teach you how to apply your power properly so the machine stays stationary and that you're going to go faster on the water once we do go on the water. So I'm going to be having a adaptive single and adaptive double being delivered as well. They aren't here yet, but as of now, I currently have a 4 for athletes who can use their legs, arms, and bodies. So we're pretty excited to be branching off into water, and that boat was very generously donated by a club down in Chesapeake. So I would like to thank them. It's Juniper Rowing Club. Thank you very much for the donation of the 4 so that we were able to get on the water, included the oars, important things, oars, riggers, and boat. It wasn't just a boat. So we're pretty excited to get on the water. So, but yeah, I'm a military spouse, so that's why I'm here. My background, I was a Division I rower for the University of San Diego. And yeah, so rowing's been really much my big passion since I started rowing my 2nd year in college. So, and yeah, I've just been involved with the sport ever since. And now I get to mend the rowing with the working with veterans a lot. And that really brings me a lot of joy and happiness. So it's a different career path than I thought I'd ever go down, but coaching's really become my big passion and helping people connect to rowing.
That's awesome. And I can't hear everything just because of the rowers, but could you talk a little bit about your experience working with the Navy team and all that?
So yeah, I was picked up to coach the Navy Wounded Warrior team a couple years ago for their first time Warrior Games added rowing in, and I have been coaching them since, and that has just been a huge gift to me to be able to work with our wounded, ill, and injured through their recovery. You know, all the athletes, you know, they'll say thank you at the end of practice. And I always like to respond with thank you, because they're allowing me to be part of their recovery and a part of their journey. And it's really just my pleasure to be there. But it's fantastic to see the types of programs like that, where you're bringing in a bunch of people who don't know each other, and it helps them so much. You'll see, you know, guys and gals maybe in the corner one day, and then like 2 days later they've got made like a bunch of friends, and they're not typically that social. And it's because people, they're bonding over the commonalities, and even though they may be struggling with a different illness, injury, or disability than another athlete, they just have that commonality, and they're together, they're becoming stronger just through that. It's pretty incredible to see what those programs do.
Awesome. Bob, share a little bit about Victory Strategies, what you got cooking now, and your background here with this program, if you don't mind.
All right, I'm multitasking here. You guys can hear me okay. So, yeah, so Victory Strategies, I started working with one of my teammates, Jakob Worksman, a little over a year ago, or actually about a year ago now, where we do, you know, leadership management and coaching for the private sector, where we bring in veterans with special operations forces background that we partner up with senior executives that want to give back to their communities. So it's not just a military experience, you know, feedback that you get. You know, you get our stories and how we would, you know, handle things in a crisis like what's going on right now, talking about how it's important for leaders to be communicating a lot and not just focused on developing the why. And so when you have those executives coming on there, that adds a little bit of depth to our ability to communicate well. And we have a team of about 14 partners right now. It's about 3/4 of them are folks with soft background, and the other are business leaders from, you know, New York Times bestselling authors and product development people to people that were VPs of safety for General Motors and so on and so forth. It's been a great organization. We've got about 12 clients actively right now that we're going through the throes on helping them keep their heads above water during this crisis. It's been a pretty interesting time.
My heart rate's good. My pace is a lot faster than that. We'll see. That's awesome. Thank you, Bob. Here she goes. Yep. Jerry, marathon. I don't know when you're hopping in the car, but you want to talk a little bit about triathlon and the kind of stuff that we're playing in the background?
All right, let me move away from my dishwasher then. Hang on 1 second. I think I'm going to get in the car about 8:45. So I have a little bit of time. I'm digesting my breakfast right now, and hopefully that bucket is for Johnny and not me. So yeah, I've been doing triathlons since about 2007. Started out, I was a Navy wife. We traveled a lot overseas and came back to the States in 2003. I have 3 kids, and so I started just doing some cycling and running to stay in shape while my kids were in school. And met some folks at the Y who were like, hey, have you ever tried a triathlon? And I was like, no, what's that? And they're like, well, you can bike and run. Can you swim? And I was like, well, yeah, but what do you mean, like swim? Like, how far do I have to swim? So I started off at the Great Bridge Hickory YMCA with a group of women, and they started a women tri team only. And so we just started, I think there was like 10 or 12 of us, and we were all pretty much stay at home. Most of us military wives, but stay at home moms while our kids were in school. And so we would do some workouts at the Y. I learned to swim, triathlon style, I guess you would call it. So freestyle. And we, let's see, we started that in January, and then that April we did our first triathlon.
Next month we go relay.
About 10 or 12 women, and
Relay.
so since then I've been progressively doing more and more and trying different distances. So right now I've done 3 full Ironman Maryland, Ironman Mont Blanc, and Ironman Louisville. A ton of halves and sprints and Olympic distance, and I'm training for Ironman Florida right now. That's November. Hopefully that will still take place. So I'm excited about that. And I got hooked up with USO. I met Johnny through my friend Megan Hewitt and cycling, and so really was just inspired a lot by Johnny and the things that he was doing with USO. And so I started volunteering any way I could, basically with cycling or coming to events. Got hooked up with the Mutts with the Mission through Johnny as well, and I'm raising a service dog Epic for a veteran or first responder. So I'm really enjoying that. And then just recently, Michael asked me to help out to help develop a triathlon for the USO with Jeff Bayless. So I'm really excited about that. If you all know Jeff, you know he's hardcore and an excellent athlete, great person. So I'm really excited about helping develop a triathlon for military families. It'll be for individuals as well as relays for the families. So we're excited about that. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm really looking forward to helping out any way I can. I love triathlon and biking and running. And so just when all of this stay at home stuff is over, I look forward to getting back at the USO with everyone.
That's awesome. Hey, Jerry, I couldn't hear everything you were saying just because of the rollers, but thank you for sharing that.
Sure, you're welcome. Now I'm probably going to have to go get ready so I can join y'all.
So Johnny's got 38,019 to go. Has anybody got any critiques for him? You think he's doing this right? Or watch your critiques because you'll get invited to finish the whole thing with you. Being caught out on social media.
No, you guys all look perfect to me. Just keep going. And Mike, I think you should do the whole 42K. Schwarting, that is, Mike Schwarting. Because I know Mike, I know the other Mike has got a class like right after this one.
That's how I do it. So what are you doing now? Starting now? I'm in some sort of neighborhood. I was supposed to retire May 31st. And I really started. Yeah. I got notified the phone call that my computer service was supposed to move in March. So I already think. So I've not been able to do a whole lot. working out. They became open business to protect their people. They were allowing sailors and military officers to stay in for an additional 6 to 1 month. I'm reading our request. Now, I'm waiting for my chief of command to put the request forward. But the final approval is going to be first thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm still looking forward at the. I'm reading Michelle's office. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So do you see what it says on it? What it says? So that Zodiac is the attachment to Zodiac Alaska. That's where the salmon sword is. Tattoo my cat. From experience I had on the Zodiac. Oh boy. It's a fishing adventure. It was more spending way too much time on glass, taking pictures of certain area, but I saw basically they had the salmon run going on. And I was on a hide for almost 3 days. Oh wow. And yeah, snowing. Yeah. Miserable. And this family of bears came down to the stream. So Father, you're wondering, I got a 218 split going on average. I caught on it.
That's impressive.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna have to get in there and start training with Michelle because like 218, that is like that's my 30-second interval. So.
The nasty there is pretty cool. So that was one part of my experience. I just had to go. Sorry, I was sliding on. I think Michelle got a lot of notes from after this. Yeah, Michelle's not going to look some literature novel on Michael. Probably some on me too. How's my form, Michelle?
We could have you at practice a few more times. Sit up. Remember sitting up? You're kind of you look like you're slouching.
Trying to look for all I remember.
And then you got to keep your knees more together. Your knees are spreading. And then use those legs, not that upper body. I really see you overpower it with your upper body, and you really got to push off with those legs, and then just gracefully follow through with the arms and then the body coming back. Arms pivot up and over those hips forward, then your legs move, legs down, pivot backwards, arms in.
That app is real. And Bluetooth to the PM5. And then it'll shoot the content to yeah, hold on there. You can do it, but yeah, back.
Which one do you have? You want to do?
It said it's PM5 is what it had. And then the heart rate is coming from a long to Bluetooth coverage. I'm trying to look at on the watch before. It'd be more than the strokes per minute. Doesn't actually practice. when you do it this way, it'll send everything over. Stroke, distance, heart rate, whole piece. Split time. Michael, how you feeling? I'm feeling good. Be motivated stuff. Tell me, Sergeant Io. Tired. Tired. So we're gonna roll at 27 minutes. We're averaging 218 split. Mike, are you doing about the same? He's probably doing way harder. We rows every day. So probably 3 months. So Bruce and Shannon are doing the workout. Okay. What is it, cycling hat? Or bibs? Track shorts? That's my cycling hat. Still sleep like 8 o'clock. Probably eating breakfast. Maybe do a reading. She loves reading. No, I wasn't reading. You don't have to. She did get reading from me. How you doing, Johnny? Traveling? Yeah, bro. And then the coffee started. You were the originator of it? He was Jennifer from Coffee. Yeah. Coffee, Jenny and myself. It was an idea. Cool. And we just, this is coffee. Right now, it's still going long, but the coffee's manager, they coffee and ring up. They like it. They don't have any problem with it. They keep supporting it. So, I'm going to support it. Stay alive. We got some good people in there. Yeah. The good thing is it's like maybe we're all able to get together. It's fun. Get there. So it's like, well, no matter what, we can all share a workout. I had 3 tries on it this year. It worked out like 8. They were all in 2 weeks ago. I was going to do the Smith field, ODU, and then we have Rico and then I'm not signing up for those one up in our Boston, spring, up in Virginia. I signed up for Chat 74.3. And we're not for a Blue Ridge. And Chat 74.3 was being deferred to next year. And now we're also deferred Blue Ridge to main cities in December. That's probably so much. Actually, right now, it's definitely made by training, they have and not even training for So, now we need another one that wants to be added to generate less conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to get more active duty military involved in this fact.
Right.
So you have a conversation with Mary, let Davis, trying to see where it goes. That's how we started. Yeah.
In case anybody's wondering, I made it 30 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna stand up. We're gonna shift to Labor Day, but they just Warrior Week just came back online, and it's gonna be Labor Day weekend. So we're gonna pick a different weekend, but basically we're gonna do 2 sprints, an individual one and then a relay one. So because I don't know, I took over the program that Johnny was running the whole program. Okay. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is get family kind of healed holistically. So we're going to put on a whole bunch of family events. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a relay sprint also for the family members. The kid can do the swim, the dad can do the run, mom can do So yeah, we're just doing some kind of like preliminary discussions and planning right now, reaching out to the YMCA. Because it would be nice if we could do a location that has a pool and it's close enough and convenient enough, like trash more that YMCA is like right. Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah. Very
So the 50-meter pool that Princess in is awesome.
Look at you, Ron. And here you go. So, yeah, no, I'm glad that got some ideas. Share that with you guys. Yeah.
We have some people that are active right now. People that are active within triathlon. They have good points of contacts, good ideas. Waking up, I know Jenny, and Adam, a few others that are active duty within triathlon.
Have you met Jerry yet? Jerry Clay? No.
She'll be here.
Okay, who's on this?
She's in the women's category. I remember what my
All right.
she's awesome. She's good people. She learned how to row yesterday. She's coming to the day.
No way. Serious?
Yep. She's like, nope, you're getting on. I'll help you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, at that level, your fitness is already high. You just gotta learn to perform.
You gotta look for them, yeah. Just stroke away.
I'm hoping I feel real good the last 30 minutes to do a really good negative split.
It's just crushed though.
Yeah, good be good friend. Good friend sounding.
Watch. Have you met Joey yet?
He was the big guy riding the upright bike when we took over on the hand side. The big guy, the guy who everyone else was tracked off of. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna race against him.
Well, we're not ready yet. He's gonna do the last 30 minutes with me. But me
You're
and
gonna push.
Joey tend to race each other like we did on the bridge like that.
I know how that feels. One of my bike yesterday, and I was supposed to be a group ride. But Jenny was doing the wrong thing. She was doing her split. So ended up being 4 of us. And I told them, hey, we're gonna just average 18 miles an hour. It was windy. But Nathan and I were averaging 18 miles an hour. We're going. Look back. Hey, Nathan, we're alone. Nathan goes up. He goes, all right, let's go. Here we go. So we rode 25 miles in pretty much just headwind.
Yeah.
And now they're right miles an hour.
You went 25 miles an hour in the headland?
No, we drove 25 miles
Miles out in the headwind.
into the headwind. And then we turned around somewhere closer to North Carolina. And on the way back, of course, we got the Joey. We're cruising 22, 23 miles an hour.
What's your heart rate at 130?
And then harder and slow. But then we hit the headwind again. It ended up being, for me, 51.5 miles.
Nice.
And we asked the other two, then what happened? What happened is that you keep up again, we're cruising at 18 miles an hour into the headwind. absolutely thank you guys for coming. But what we do is when we do our events, we do it for time on this. We tell them, hey, our time today is 3 hours. We're going to run 3 hours. So, of course, given the conditions and everything, we have some coffee, something there, maybe 15 minutes, and then I will come in with coffee, which is everybody's okay. But I got back within 3 hours. Nathan was done with the front of his location, and everybody was still waiting for me, so that was nice. So it worked that way for us. You know, we're putting pressure on somebody that's slower. We'll complete the same distance in one time. That's just 3 hours, do your thing, go out for an hour and a half, come back, do it. Your job.
Just past the 8K mark.
Hey, Bob, are the kids still asleep?
They are.
Oh, so you're getting some quality time right now.
Yeah.
Where is the house at?
Yesterday to see the sunrise because it was such a gorgeous.
Yeah.
Today overcast and rainy. Not sure what it's doing.
Yeah. How many more days are you guys there for?
Till tomorrow. We'll leave
Okay.
tomorrow.
That's awesome. Johnny told me the story. That's great.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Cool. So Johnny just passed the 8,000 mark. And his close friend, I'll let him come over here and introduce himself to y'all. He's getting ready to row next. You want to come introduce yourself to the crew?
Try this again over here. Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Jose. I've been a friend of John for a couple of years now. We met to the Conquist Triathlon team, and we just hit it up. We're real good. And if not, I wouldn't be here. That's true.
Now he's in the pain cave over here.
So now I'm about to go and we're here for 30 minutes to in the pain cave, and I'm looking forward to it. It's just about camaraderie and supporting his crazy endeavors.
So Jerry, he's gonna warm the rower up for you. That's Jerry. She's probably gonna be on.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave. I got on my Embrace the Suck shirt just for you, Johnny.
So I also heard that you're in a top triathlon athlete. So
She can hold her own.
We'll see. It'll be my first row, so we'll see.
I heard that as well, that you learned how to row yesterday.
That might just mean that I'm not so smart. We'll see.
You got it.
We'll see you shortly.
All right, see you in a few.
All right, cool. At the end, all you gotta do is you'll just hit the stop button. Hit the recording, it'll automatically go to it. The screen pops up and says, "Do you want to save the switch your seat?"
That was a good Instagram feed y'all had going.
Yeah, I don't know how many people do you think tuned in on the Instagram feed? 5. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we tried it on both USO and then mine. Good to go. All right, well, enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah. 33.5.
I might check back in with Joey and Jared and see.
We good.
All right.
Normal text delivered down here. Gary.
Are you good? You need anything? I'm good. You want me to adjust this or is it right? You good?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna take this number and get it. All right, well, they get picture for sure. Look forward to riding with you.
I'm looking forward to the same. This is always more fun and a little more. And getting some traction on what you guys are doing.
Cool. You can share your info, my info. John, I give him my stuff later.
Yeah.
When you have your hands free. All right, well, enjoy it, guys.
Be safe.
Good job, Gary.
Stay dry.
All right.
For some reason, I'm waiting here.
I'll pop in on the Zoom too. Check that one.
All right.
So,
You.
Yeah, 9:45, right?
Yeah. She'll come over and want to watch swim for a little bit.
Johnny, nice work.
But you can row as long as you want. We just did that to give enough people time to lay, whatever. Jose's like, let's get this party going. I'm rowing more than 30 minutes.
Johnny, where's Eclipse right now?
Yeah. So I'm still at a 218, 219 average.
Nice. Looks like you're at about a 23, 24, Johnny.
Johnny, what's your stroke rating?
24.
Perfect. Your technical feedback was good, Michelle. Before I was 30 years in, I still break my arms too early, and my bicep is tightening up on me. So I got to remember.
Technique, like help never stops. You know, we always do something that we're like, oh man, I know that. Like, it's the thing is we know it, and it's like, oh yeah, and like that's the thing. Like, technique is one of those things that you can be like working on and working on and working on, and I feel like it's never perfect.
No. No.
But that was one of the things that I did enjoy the little bit I got to work with those guys up there, Michelle, is like, you know, on a bicycle, you get fitted to the bike, you pedal, you can fine tune your pedal stroke a little bit. But with the rowing, I found I was really concentrating on form to try and be as efficient as I could. And what was frustrating to me is these guys, and I'm sure you're one of them too, is your bell curve is totally even the whole time. That sine wave, right? Is that what you call it? The sine wave of power up. And mine was like this ramp up and then straight down, ramp up and straight down. I worked and worked and worked for what seemed like weeks to try and get that thing to smooth out. That's when I'm going to come in and start rowing with you, because I want to start working on that sine wave way that Mike and
Yeah, it's nice when you can groove with somebody side by side too, right?
yeah, when we did those workouts together, it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, rowing alone is just not very fun, but it's great when you get a bigger group together.
Yeah.
And you work the rates together. I love doing workouts where the rates are the same, so you can really kind of work as a team and feel like you're in a boat together. You know, and it really brings in that other aspect of it.
And that's and it's a lot like cycling, with the exception of the two ends of the stroke. There's a little more like it's not quite as fluid as if you're pedaling, right? So if you're pedaling, it's pretty consistent. You know, I am anyway. But when I row, it's sort of the same, with the exception that at each end of the stroke, there's just a little bit of jam to kind of kick momentum. But Johnny is doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kick out. I'm gonna set up my workout. I'm gonna do that, and everyone's gonna be really happy that I'm tired. And then I'm gonna try and join you guys if Johnny's got a little bit left at the end. Oh,
Awesome.
Anyway, thanks
Mike,
guys.
thanks so much for
Thank
dialing
you.
in.
It was so great to meet you
again.
and have you on here.
Really good to meet everybody. And I'm all kitted up here. So I got a heart rate monitor, and I got a muscle O2 monitor on my leg. So I'll send I'll send some stuff from both workouts so you guys can see if you want.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys.
Cheers,
See
Mike.
ya.
Great to see you.
Get ready to pass 10K.
There it was.
Yeah, Michelle, up at the boathouse at Tuck, and I'm sure you've seen them before, but they had the ergs like we use, and then they had the other ergs where the head rotates. So your seat is stationary, but the head rotates, and it's supposed to mimic what the boat is like more. Are you familiar with that type of erg?
I've never used one, but I have seen them. I think they were using them for warm-ups at Worlds that I was seeing pictures of them at, but I've never actually seen one in person or used one myself.
Okay. So as a new rower, it was difficult for me to keep the sweet spot, but they said that it's a really good tool to make sure that you're not damaging the boat, right? Like your stroke rate is very smooth and methodical because your butt should not move, but that erg should be rotating through like the boat would. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
But I think they're really expensive, I think, these ones.
Yeah, they make these things called slides, Concept 2 does, and I'm wondering if it's somewhat similar to that, is being on a slide, but I'm not sure. So I've used slides before, but I've never used those particular ergs.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited to get in the studio now that we got more ergs set up and sort of the way that Michael's building it, so there's its own specific room. Because I do really enjoy doing those workouts. I think at one point we had 20 people on ergs, and Mike and the Canadian crew were working us through the whole warm up together, breaking down the stroke and then doing that whole workout. And then that was the thing that was new to me, is like, okay, we're going to do 30 strokes per minute. And then, they worked it all the way down to, we were doing, I think, 22 strokes per minute. And you got a guy that's 6'8" next to you who's pulling like, 130s, but I can still do the same stroke rate, even though I'm doing like a 150 or 155. And it was just really, I had never put that concept together. We could all work out in the same space together, get vastly different workouts, but be doing the same stroke rate and everything else together. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before I would just eat whatever. Turn it off. Yeah. So then I'm going to research more research. Because, the reason why. So you got to do research. Yeah, but I found that I'm eating one here that you're able to perform better, be able to recover better, and sleep better. So I lost my FTP that went down on the bike. 5. When my watch per kilo went up 30. But the ratio there. Yeah. So when I'm at my FTP, I'm probably better. I'm at a 0.6, 0.7, 4 watts per kilo. So I didn't say anything. Same goal, lose weight. I lost only because I'm too. Yeah. Same thing happened to me in my activity went down. But yeah, what is it? Powerful kilo. Yeah, watch the kilo. Nah, I'm the same thing, performing better, recovering better. And when I did it, I did a lot of aerobic base workout. Right? So my aerobic base is so deep right now, I don't even attempt to get out of that range. It takes some good effort now. Brandon and Joey's here to laugh. Oh, of course. It's just, yeah. You gotta think. Why change what's not broken? That's right. So same thing with me.
So, hey, Bob, and all the rest of you that are on the Zoom, just to let you know, just from the experience of rowing that first 30 minutes with you, it's almost impossible to hear your guys' conversation. So if you're asking questions, just as a backup, you can text the question down in the chat, and then when it pops up, basically they know that there's a new message there or a question waiting for them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was wondering because you didn't respond to a couple of things. So.
Yeah, it was really hard. Like your whole victory strategies and Michelle's piece, I couldn't hear any of it. So
yeah. Okay.
But they're doing good.
Yeah, It's remarkable.
My butt was already asleep at like probably the 22-minute mark, so he's gonna it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
he's wearing his bibs. I don't know if you can tell, but so he's got some extra padding down there, and then he purchased one of the Concept 2 foam seat kind of like cushion things. It's almost like our old PT pad. It's got epoxy on one side. So
yeah, well, those workouts I was talking about doing with Mike and those guys up north, when they had me doing it right, my glutes cramped up so much it was like I was sitting on 2 cue balls, and they were like, "You're exercising right. If your glutes are tightening up like that," I'm like, "That's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world." They're like, "Well, you get used to it."
right.
Is that right, Michelle?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I never had my glutes that tight before. It was very, very strange. It was literally like sitting on 2 cue balls. So that maybe that seat cushion will pay off well for John.
Yeah, they make a gel pad that you can go buy, and those things are money. You know, especially if you think the Concept 2 seat's uncomfortable, you put your butt on a carbon fiber seat or something like that in a boat. It's just not fun. That's really not very comfortable, especially sit on it for a few hours.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go Jerry's driving very safely, I can see. Good job, lady. Good job.
Jerry came in on the
One of my athletes from yesterday just texted me a little meme of her trying to walk down, like this like meme of this guy like holding onto a railing, just like kind of limping down these stairs after yesterday's workout. She's like, "This is me." This morning after yesterday's workout. You get this little rower's walk when you haven't been rowing for a while, where you're like, you're just trying to walk because your butt is so sore and your legs are sore and.
Okay, y'all aren't selling this thing. I'm going to turn my car around.
It's miserable but wonderful.
I've got on my padded shorts. We'll see.
So Jerry, before today, what's the furthest you've rowed or the longest you've rowed before?
Yesterday at Mutts with the Mission, I got on the rower for 6.5 minutes.
Awesome.
That was it. That was first and only.
So you got a warm up in. Good job.
So they say ignorance is bliss, so that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, should be fun.
I don't know. I've been cycling recently, and I feel like the Concept 2 seat is nothing compared to like what the soreness your butt feels from sitting on a bike. To be honest, like those seat, like they'll talk about the uncomfortableness of the seats on these ergs, but I'm like, guys, this is nothing compared to like.
I would agree. The bicycle seat is way less comfortable than the erg seats by like probably a factor of 10. But but if you're going to stick with cycling, finding a seat that fits you well, where you're sitting on those sit bones and that it's more comfortable, especially for the female anatomy, is really, really key. I just bought an ISI seat, which a lot of women use for triathlons and stuff, and it's the most comfortable seat. I bought the men's version, but it's the most comfortable seat I've ever used. I would highly recommend it.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bike fitting for the seat is essential. I've gone through about 6 or 7 saddles over the years, and so they're all different, whether it's my road bike or tri bike or cross bike or whatever you have, but it's all different. But the tri fit I found is the hardest to find a comfortable saddle because of the aero position that you're in. So definitely got to get measured and got to get the right bike seat, because if not, that's a miserable. I mean, you're on that thing anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. You're miserable.
So we made it right on the Austin Powers into it. It's really long. Oh yeah. Just now broke the 30,000 mark. Moving along. Steady as she goes.
Just taking it 1 10K at a time, chewing at it.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool if we could have a simultaneous readout, like a split screen of Johnny's head unit. Is he completed 20K already? No.
He said, I think he said he has 30 to go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a month ago.
Yes, we did 12K. Okay. Cool.
Oh, the Instagram. I love it. He sent me some games. I'm like, all right, man. You know how many I sent them out?
It's funny. I mean, it's not direct. They don't need direct content.
No.
But it shows you think, oh, it's working when you search something.
That's all he said. I said, all right, this one not a good playing game, but I'm going to send him my screenshot.
Those are motivational for me. You get my body here. I can do more.
Yeah, my wife is on a roll like twice a week out here. Back from far out, she rode right here. Did she get ready for it? She doesn't resist to get over it.
Yeah, but it's in the message to her. Leave that, there's no improvement.
Oh, you really got to stay down.
What are you trying to say so far?
Well, that was like all the comments they used to do, though. Oh, we'll be back in 6. Yeah, see you in 10.
Yeah. What's your view?
Yeah. Get ready to hit the hour mark. Feeling awesome.
Yeah. Guys over here looking smooth. Look like fresh. No issues.
I got my cycling hat. Bibs. Keeps me feeling fresh. Yeah. Absolutely. That's quick. See that to happen. When I did the hat, that was right at an hour. But I did try shorts. Stay in the clips. You see. Joey might want to come early. We got a good things coming on. Second good.
Yeah, you got plenty left.
Yeah, I set them aside, one for 30 minutes. No, pre-cut. We all have the stories of people falling off their bike, flipping in. I don't want to fall off the road. Yeah.
But yeah, this is cool. That's what you feel as you go.
Staying ahead. There's a lot more people wanting to do this with us. We got so much time. Yeah. sold out. Well, I'm gonna sold out for next month. We just tried to do a order. It's like, so put it in. It's gonna be a ticket order. And on the first week of May. Yeah. Endurance apparel. They're building some temporary ones to be able to have wood and 2x4. Okay. They have it on their Instagram, which is good, you know. Now they can do something. But over there, I got the big sandbag that can hold 40 pounds. So it's 10-pound increments. So my son will be able to pick up next weekend. He'll have that. And of course, he's got TRX here too. The road.
Thankfully, we have some good equipment.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we got the bike, the board, a few bands, but I don't even have weight.
Yeah.
A few bands, just to be able to get out.
We do a trailer strong. The swimming workout is fast.
Yep.
That's what I said, man. I'll look at it.
Yeah. That's okay.
She says, yeah, after 10 minutes, we'll go off to you know.
They're better than I think.
Yeah. It goes back to like all the physical therapies I did. That's all we use. Just the manager. And we strengthen them, you know, as you went on.
All I do would be to be able to sustain some mental fitness.
Yeah.
Without the gym.
Yeah, and those numbers is better. I'm at an hour and 4 minutes. You get down. You know, when I first started rowing, it was just train for a different. So you train for a woman and a woman. It's really different. So that's why this paper thing is so new. But when I did like the tank thing, every 300 meters, we 5 bar pools. I rode at a 215. If I do that every 300 meters, I'm 11. I was like, how should I now you got the yeah, so like that's why I really like my heart rate. So I know being in there, okay, at this phase, this is about it. It's really like it's not like we're going to slow right now. But we're able to talk. And they go back to the nutrition. Yep. I agree. Is that what they do in nutrition?
I like to ask you. Computer. My technical good there. Put my computer down. My friends probably think I'm good. Okay. This is my zone. You have to get yourself in a that you're great. Like I'm out. This is where I want to be. And what I need to do is be an event. Jerry, make sure you come to a full complete stop.
I'm almost there. 2 minutes.
I learned good thing with love. When I went and I hit my first pancake, I was like, ooh. Nope. Yep. So I grabbed, like, I got my whole feet with gloves. That's my jam. Right there. They make moving. Really? They just go with you. These are learning how to ride your bike. You hit the ground. You're bad at it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch from here all day. That's good.
And Army. The garage works. Only Joey, yeah, you get that.
Hey, Grim. I brought my own cleaning wipe.
Baby wipes for another.
I'll show you his screen. Here we go. And there's no puke yet. There you go. Take off your ear or anything.
A little bit. Michael has better hearing than me.
I probably put in my Bluetooth and then I could hear it. Yeah. You guys need anything?
Good.
I wanted to bring Epic, but I was like, if it quits raining, I'll run afterwards. And I didn't want her to get up and mess things up.
She fell asleep. Like, why
Oh,
are they
she
still
would
doing
sleep.
that?
Yeah, she would sleep. She would totally sleep. You're at 30 minutes already? Oh, it's going by fast.
No, he started early.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm getting recorded.
Oh, okay.
Two more, double time. I got a run later on too.
You should try it.
Well, I brought my run stuff. I'm just going to run from here. It'll be good. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that speaker's my best one out here.
Yeah.
You see, I was telling you, in 2 weeks, you still got 75% left.
Wow.
What else? For tailgate. You can put a mic on it.
Sounds good.
Meant to put 2 brewskis on top and a couple over there. Hey, you get your carbs.
Okay, I put my Bluetooth in, so if y'all ask questions, I can hear it.
Hey, Jerry, non-triathletes do stupid stuff. You are that. I know. Bro, you're on my first step. I'm doing my racing wheelchair. Have fun. I rode though. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she, yeah. Well, the tire's 127 go. I'll put my brakes back on it for you. I just need some brakes on it. Why? Well, you're drifting. Yeah, that's yeah, it's upstairs. Watch the show before you. Carries up to you. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I'm trying to maintain it. Start feeling it now. Yeah. That's good though. That's the mental part of it. Yeah, 3 hours, 15, 16 minutes, whatever. Huh? An hour and 17. About 3,000 meters from the half. Look, I'm going to work it every day. That's the key to that one. I'll wear her out of here. It's got to put the roof up. Like it's snow or too hot. Cigarette. So we had her, she covered me. 7 months old, I haven't been with slight dog. Get a picture of a rising thing. Yeah. Yeah. If the ground is too hot or it's bad. So another question for my dog too. It's not a real fucking Cooper. I was thinking 1 month. It was too hot. Nope, doesn't come on with me. Just a ball, same thing. Yeah. Just nice weather and you can raise with him. There's a lot of people that are not punching the ball. Yeah. Right. If I can't hold my feet in the hands for him for the contact, we put boots on her feet. That way she can still walk. Is she comfortable to do after the third time? Okay. Yeah, it takes consistency. And she gets what she hasn't used in a while. Or she used a lot. So I'm gonna start cranking her up. Yeah. He was walking around like a little cat. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Joey's gonna find my negative split. Yeah. Bro, in good form. Michelle and asking. So Jose, we were trying to work a block. We wanted to do like a different type of triathlon. October. We don't know if it's still happening, but it's such a fun part. Road to a ticket. Nice. Bro, run, yeah. Run, bike. Yeah, bro, run, bike. Yeah. Bro, yeah. And this one's not good. I said, can we do a relay? Yeah, I'll relay. I'll do the road for someone. I mean, the problem is we look at the all the world. They don't want to do all three of them. Yeah. I'll do it. You can't in 6 minutes. Well, maybe you have to play. Yeah. I think it's good. One is going for speed. They crash. Yeah. Like, I cannot. I'm rolling. Oh, I'm running fast. I get out of it. I'm gas down. You definitely got to face yourself a little bit. When I did the competition in DC this year, my son almost said he flew. Yeah. But in a race, everybody's time is on your screen in front of you. So you're like, oh, yeah, you're definitely competing. Yeah. Yeah. What happened? So, on your screen, you have it was bounced earlier. I know Michael logged in here as the host. Yeah, when I was like, oh, I was wondering, how do you get 2 cameras on? Very, yeah.
This is day 2 on your own.
What about my foot?
I want to look at the time. I want you to get in. Yeah, just get there. I want you to pick it up. Take name.
Yeah.
Tap on it.
Oh.
All right, come on, guys. Come on.
Who's on the screen?
So right now, Michelle is off.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I go use your bathroom?
Starting to get enough. But well,
TV.
Rounded on the rower, you won't shoot too much before long. Crap. But I got enough with the did, you're able to do a little bit.
Wait a little bit. Yeah.
The new rower is real smooth, right? Not good. Oh, Michael will break that rower into the yeah, well, mine's that lucky mission. So if he let me this one, we brought that one there. That way over there, on the road, we would
let people be relevant to this no matter what. And we need to treat the service dog. So if the veteran or first responder in the gym with the row, the dog is going to stop the leader. If you work out, we get you the dog. So everybody's like, I'm bro. We're winning. Yeah. And all the kids that are homeschooled right now, Jasmine and Brooke's two sons, and Christine's son, Rowan. Everybody wrong. Get it in. Everybody gets the wrong in. I mean, you don't know, it's a full body workout. 4. Left. Ready?
Where's my body?
Yeah.
You get ready to have some cookies.
Huh?
You get ready to have some cookies.
Oh, really? Oh, yes.
Cookies. Look like chocolate chip and pineapple.
Oh. You're going to enjoy those. Oh, yeah. So Jerry, Joey's doing the 30-day fast, like I did the initial. The fast 5 days, deep 2 days clean. When you see him, you're going to see a weight difference. He's 12 pounds down from Monday.
All right.
He's a bigger boy, so that percentage is different than like.
Well, there's a lot of water.
Yeah. I thought it was 3.5 foot. And then he'll taper out. So the 8 clean this weekend, so that way he won't gain at all with this many pain. And next weekend, or next week, on Monday, he'll turn it on again. Yeah. Yeah, Joey's not. All my beer. He's not
on that diet.
Yeah. He said he's already speaking of it. It's the world different. Like you were saying earlier, like sleeping, the recovery, the performance, all of it.
Hey, Jerry, we've got someone in the waiting room. If you could allow her into the meeting so she could watch the rowing. I guess it's set up on the, you got it. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, I like your kit.
If I figure out how to do this.
When I first started rowing, so the thing was like, Mom,
She's in the waiting room. You see it?
Okay, got it.
There we go.
over this look.
There
There she is.
Without
Hey there, glad you could dial in. Awesome stuff. Good to see you.
Okay.
This little thing got broke. All right, I'm an hour and a half in. Woo! I'm almost at a half marathon. 42. So 21:97 was a half marathon.
You told me it's
Yeah, look. Look at this. You said the elevator part.
I got my heart rate traveling. Oh no, that's not what I said.
Yeah, you'll get endurance heart rate.
Better get ready.
got your good workout in already.
So, how long a day?
They going for a run there. So yesterday, when down in North Carolina, heading all the way down, it was like tailwind.
Yeah. Straight down Battlefield.
That's what we did. We started at Dismal, turned on Ballard, and then went down there almost. We got close to a double. On the way out, it was just heavy. On the way back, we got the double. We were cruising the way back.
With a low heart rate, I get that too.
Yeah, I needed that. I was playing. Yeah. We don't know what can we.
So, Gary, remember to set your kick.
Yeah.
You need a 2 and about 5.
Not just lift, lift up. It's like.
Okay, bring it down to 11.
5, 6.
Yeah, right there.
So 8, 3, 5, 6.
I put it right on the number. Small day.
All day, huh? And then
You can hit menu or start it over after this time. And then you just hit just row. Do like a little warm up. And then you can, and then we'll bring it in. Past the 20K mark.
Awesome job, Johnny. That's so impressive, man. Holy
Great job,
cow.
Johnny.
Good looking good, good form.
Yeah, I maintain a good heart rate. Sorry, Joey. Our little kid Joey's gonna feel it.
Joey hasn't dialed in yet because I suspect he's a little bit worried about how fit you're going to be by the time he gets there.
I'm averaging about a 220 split at about 25, 26 strokes per minute.
Jerry, do you have a heart rate monitor on?
I do. It'll be on
Can't
strong.
wait to see a comparison.
Remember 11 to 1, 3 to 1, and then I always had to tell myself, honestly, but in my head, other people don't even know my mind. Yeah.
so it says 26 and 290.
Yeah. So we're at.
Are we done yet?
Jerry, can you hear me?
I'm almost at the half marathon spot.
Nice. Can Jerry hear me?
Yeah.
Jerry, make sure you're pulling a little lower. You're pulling in your like throat. You want to make sure you're pulling in like heart rate monitor level, a little bit lower. It's kind of like Sports Pro Online heart rate monitor. That's kind of where you aim for your handle to come in, and your elbows want to go straight back, and you don't want to bend your wrists. And then hold your handle towards the end. You want to kind of feel like your pinkies are about to fall off, but they're staying on that oar handle.
Better?
Much better. Keep those elbows up and straight back in line with the wrist.
That's 23.
Okay. Right now you're worried about it more. Your stroke rate, that way you can lower your heart rate. If you get that stroke rate, you guys see your heart rate.
It's helpful as you can just kind of look at Johnny and follow his body motion. So arms out, body over, pivoting up and over those hips forward, then your legs move. And then legs down, body back, arms in. Arms out, body forward, legs. Arms, body, legs. You want to make sure your arms are fully extended before your body's pivoting forward up through those hips, up and over those hips to get that forward angle. You want to make sure those arms are fully extended. Arms come out nice and quick. Legs stay down. Don't move your legs until your arms and your body are forward.
I like.
Your abs no good?
No, I'm good.
My abs. This is the mental wall I'm breaking through right now. None but.
You can hire me now, buddy.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right, we just finished a half marathon. Only half left. Woo! Doing it.
I love halfway points because then you know every stroke is one stroke closer to home.
I always hated when my coxswains would say, hey, you're halfway done, because you already feel like you're gonna die in the middle of after 1,000 meters of a 2,000 meter race. And you're like, what do you mean I'm halfway? And then it just negatively affects my mindset so much when they say that. I hated that call. I mean, I know what 1,000 meters means, but if, like, they're like, oh, you're 1,000 meters, you're halfway done. And I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out already.
I got about an hour and a half to go.
All right.
Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah. That's my camera. He was crushed to come there. Her son got a long leg. I put him on here and doing it. Without effort, it's so far. Split.
Like 6 foot tall, 145 pounds.
His legs were just like, I was like, we need to do a road.
We got him on a road bike, and he won the Virginia bar, and he won his first time trial.
Wow.
He's like, okay, now what? He did 40 feet now. 5 minutes, guys, 5 minutes.
All right. What are you on?
Okay, I'm wet.
Yeah. You're going to appreciate the bibs you're wearing later.
I'm like,
Everything.
mine.
Your arms are something smooth. I found when I did it right for some reason I slipped.
Right, because you're thinking about form instead of just.
Exactly. Yeah.
Happened to me too when I start thinking about something different. I look at my split. Yeah. We're not, I'm like, come on, that's not what I wanted. I get back to going. And it's like, whoa.
Drinking coffee.
I felt a little guilty while I just took a sip of my coffee and you guys are working.
Don't do that. Apparently, Jasmine and Carrie make cookies in the kitchen.
They look yummy. You know, blowing it up in 30.
No, that's the battery. That's right.
Like your dining room. Just so you know, Johnny lied. We're not doing it 2:30. He's trying to kill me.
Let's do 2:30. I got no problem doing 2:30. Come on.
You have a butt rub right up.
know my Norma text is going to get used after this.
Oh, yeah. I got to run.
Yeah. I'm going to try to figure out how to do hip and legs at the same time.
Derek, keep those handles down. Stop coming up towards your head.
Yes,
Keep it down low, heart rate monitor level, girl. Pulling it nice and low, elbows straight back in line with those wrists. You don't want to do this thing where you drop your wrists and get this like break in your wrists. You want to make sure that your elbows are in line with your wrists coming to that finish, okay? Nice tight core.
I was waiting for her to get a read too. She was having a moment. She's emailing me my sheet. Too long to text because she got pregnant.
I feel you looking at me, Michelle. Good.
All right, less than 20K left. Yeah. The one's never looked so good.
So what is again when the stroke gets slower?
Lower, the lower stroke rate is recover your heart rate for endurance.
All right, I'm on 24.
Yeah. I've been averaging 24 to 26. Yeah. Like, I try to tell people the heart rate strap.
Yeah.
It's more politically correct and regularly groups.
Got it.
I figured we could do it.
Let the girls be able to do it. That's right.
My friends love me.
Seven Tuesdays.
Michael's only gonna have a couple of weeks to figure out.
Look, I want to know that improvement. I'll always be proud.
I wonder what my TSS is gonna be for this workout. So I'll do like, I'll look at the heart rate TSS and then I'll look at the power TSS. But that's the thing from this being tied, it'll give it to you.
I think there's a question. There's a couple of options.
Now they might be able to remind me from my down. And we gotta fight tomorrow. Oh yeah. I had 2-hour aerobic heart rate phase ride in the morning.
I know that too.
Yeah.
Not even my legs. What do you do for right
I have to know the 3 events
now?
with 2 halves and 1 sprint.
Uh-huh.
And in castle.
Yeah.
Castle, 3, blue red.
Yeah.
Castle, we have
Oh, yeah.
You did all last year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there.
That was working.
It's an amazing course, though.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it last year with the original course, and the last course stopped. Get much better before that. Hey, I'm at 11 minutes.
You good? Good.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm an hour 46.
I got you, buddy.
Got it. And I think we were one of the offers was on 8 days.
Yeah.
I'm looking at doing 1 hour.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just ready to do on 8.
Yeah.
But keep it in mind that you make it easy.
Yeah. We're doing a hiring board in November.
Come up with that.
Yeah. We got to wait for a week.
How much?
Let that week. That was awesome.
I'll be peer support. Yeah, you can bring 2 little ones. How you doing? I was repeating this weekend.
Ben.
On
It was canceled last year. So last year I did it because I was there for free.
Okay.
The year before I did it, it was like months, it rained, couldn't get up through it. Yeah. And so my hands and feet went numb on the bike ride. I with Peter Brake and the grading winds about that. My hands were very hard. So I got to the halfway mark for the feet. And you know how you yell for him to bring it back? This sweet little teenage boy saw me myself, and I was like, hands to my hands. I need you to open up my feet. He did. So I have 4 small red potatoes boiled with some baseball. So the little boy really took them out of the baseball and put them in my mouth. And I'm like eating and shaking. It was awesome. Yeah, that was the only way I could eat. And I got back on my bike and went. There were people there on the side of the road. Just like this. It was just such a miserable hike. And then the sun came out, the rain stopped the run. It was amazing. We were downtown area and it was awesome.
This one was like here for me. With your name canceled, they take it to hold an app.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to start fighting.
Or really.
You can't pay for blah.
Right there for me was hot chicken.
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Whenever you train for an army and like after this, if you take a breath on self, you didn't make your goal to start and you stop. But then on cold races, they bring it out all day long. You're like, they got it. Chicken broth.
Yeah. I'm not fast. I did the night one. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not at that level. I don't even try to get one. But now I'm hungry for a little.
Yeah. It's addictive. That's the problem.
Jerry's gonna be hungry for a marathon on the road.
Oh, yeah. I feel it. Like,
Oh yeah. Now that you got this work,
oh, I don't know. I don't think I have to pour my tears.
I'm gonna go. Look at that. So now you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. It is great that it offers something else. Unfortunately, I can do that. Weak or upper body compared to lower body. What I can do is weight. Yoga, that kind of stuff for you.
Right, so you kick your ass off in the pool, right?
Yeah. Oh. So I feel like you pick that up.
Okay.
The difference between a 130 and a 145. Okay, so I'm halfway.
Sweet. Good.
I'm afraid to let go of one hand.
Yeah. Follow me. We'll take it.
How about you come to school? So the down one.
Slow
Yeah.
your stroke right now.
Yeah, perfect. 160.
Yeah, I'm 160 right now. All right, come breathe.
Yeah, where's your walking fan?
Oh, it's in there. I got it in a perfect position for my butt.
Yeah.
These are the fans I used to use before. So I got the smart one. I love how these tied in my heart rate.
Maryland. Yeah, but it's a flat passport, just like here. That's what I hope that border will be like. Just like here, we go out and we all the time. Go delicious in, and a lot of people on the bike will have elevation, but they don't have it. And it's debilitating for people. And I just look at my power, whether I'm going 50 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. That's my power.
So you just maintain the.
So Ironman bike power, 65 to 75 is up to peak. And on my bike, I only have 9 power shifts. Otherwise, like walk with my feet right now.
My friend Nathan and I were talking about that yesterday. We were riding into the wind.
Yeah.
Way back to where we get the wind. Like, man, it's a little area too. And the reason I say that is we don't have wheels over here, but we have the wheels.
Yeah.
This is life. This is pain or anything like that. This is
Well, you can't. You can take that.
exactly. And it's probably worth it. To us, it's worth it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I take the old day over the wind. Headwind and high wind. I can't use the easy wheel, but I have great wheels. But when it comes to the side, I'm riding sideways. You're riding outside of you.
Or you can do the saddle.
Yeah.
You got leaning to it. You're like,
While I can climb faster, it's much smaller. When the wind comes, nothing I can do.
I had a friend of mine that he used to have the barrel of silver power meters. And he told, and I brought mine, and he took all me in there. I didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, why you sell? He goes, I don't listen. I'm like, you hear it. Listen, we're asking.
It's the only way to do it.
And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, there's only two concepts. You have your heart rate,
Yeah.
and you have your power. And if you go out with the mentality that you're going to do your best,
Yeah.
you want to average 20 miles an hour, and you don't know your concept, because if you have headwind, you got elevation, you got to keep yourself within the first few miles before you get. I mean, you got to do something like that. Don't go to the mountain. You have to think of concept. And you know, you don't need to think about it. You went back and what you said.
I bet you did. The only way to go.
Yeah.
Also, the only way to be competitive once it's really powerful. Johnny and I can do the same bike ride and push the same one. He's 72. I'm 34.
See, Jerry loves drafting off the way.
Oh, I love it.
I don't call 220 watts of recovery right, Johnny.
Hey, that's the only way I can ride in a group.
Yeah.
I need a tether.
Yeah, trust me, that's what it is. We'll have to figure out how to put it.
Person you can talk with when you're training for a drive.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. It's like, no.
Hey, how long until Zwift adds rowing into their platform?
I hope soon. That would be awesome.
You could do Head of the Charles like every weekend.
Yes. You know Heather Charles?
My sister rowed in college
Oh, okay. Where's she row?
at San Diego State.
Okay, I rode for University of San Diego.
Oh, how funny.
When did she graduate?
2011?
Okay, I was 2010.
Okay. Yeah, she was the little coxswain.
Okay.
I have a hand grip to help you.
And your kids stand there and spread your face.
If you want to drink it, I would say grab it towards the middle.
Yeah.
And then that way it's more stable.
I was going to tell you that you can just even just drop them there.
Yeah, it's like the one-handed rowers have to row like this anyway.
All right. Oh, yeah.
It's not comfortable on your fingers, but you can do
No,
it.
we want to do that again.
Oh yeah. Joey likes death metal. Oh no, man. I can tell this is endurance. This is not Tabata intervals. No. All right, less than 17K left. Yeah.
Wait, when you say 7 minutes?
Yeah. About 7 minutes. That's for you. She goes, don't mistake your time for mine.
Baby steps. I know you have good friends.
Okay. So far this entire row, I'm averaging 220.
That's awesome.
My goal was 230, so
You're getting your goal.
I had to have one. If I didn't have a goal, I'd miss it every time.
Joey better be prepared. Your negative splits are going to be wicked.
Oh yeah, Joey's gonna be broke off a negative split. Hopefully. My mom called Joey, time to show up early.
How long did you do? You did 45 minutes. You rode 45 minutes. Oh, cheater.
He's like, hey, keep my buddy company.
Look, I'll keep rowing. I brought up. They were talking about not eating for 3 hours. Like, are you kidding me? Every hour. 100 calories.
Hold on.
Yeah, I can use that table.
I'm for SIS and then.
You pull what? Yeah, we know where you pull up. I better pay attention. I'm flying here.
Speaking of that, I'm at 2 hours.
Look at you. So you're gonna kill them. All right, that's you.
How's the button?
What was?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing good then.
I have one of them still?
I'll start with baby steps though. My next one is gonna be the half marathon.
Yeah. But remember to slow your pace down a little bit. And then, like on that one, like I said, every 300 meters or 500, you flat hard pulls, keep your foot down. That worked for me. When I did a half, I rode at a 215 speed, but every 300 meters I did 5 hard pulls. So I ended up with a 210 split, 211 split.
Like interval on the bike.
Yeah. Just do a quick spin up every 300 meters, so basically every minute, almost every minute. Minute 15.
So that's similar to the marathon on Ironman. When you get to a point where you feel like you got to start walking or running slower, you run the aid stations, and then you grab what you need to refill. You walk the aid, run to the next one. So you're doing a sprint or a fast run
Yeah.
for a mile.
Okay.
You get a few hundred meters of race covering it, and you do it again.
I haven't done that. Well, actually, yeah, I do it all the time. I try to maximize.
Yeah.
The money spent on the events. I hit all this.
You hit all the stuff like.
All the stuff. I'm trying to for years and that. But I equal it.
I love that course. like you're out like a bird sanctuary and yeah.
I mean, I'm over there doing the same maintenance, and I'm like, no, I need to change this. So
Yeah.
I made it a point to every so often catch somebody,
Yeah.
or do some. You know, I'm gonna do X amount of hours for a minute or two.
So every 5 miles, do a quarter mile to a half mile of speed.
But it was just, I'm like,
Yeah, you're out there.
I'm working.
Not like all
Yeah. I'm just gonna call out every 1,000 meters I get.
right. Yeah, I'm not
Oh, okay. Well, remember I got the swim watch. Yeah. The Garmin swim too.
have it
That one has that. Yeah. I think we should do this monthly, but the next one, like I said, that relay, like you do it. Like, you get on for 30 minutes, I think 30. Like, so our marathon, we get like 3 teams, 2 teams, it's not the marathon first.
You know how we do it? We do it in tune of Die Hard.
Oh. Yeah.
Pretty Christmas movie.
Yeah, my heart rate be up there. Be good.
30 minutes.
There you go.
What time is it?
Fine.
No, he's rowing at 10:45. So, but he said we'll be here about 10:15.
Alright.
Whatever you-
Yeah, you're ready. Yes, that sounds super.
Call Joe. Hurry up.
Busting those lines, buddy. Or does, well, actually, grab 3 and cancel the other 2.
What is that one?
Like June 28th or something like that. Like last weekend.
15K left.
Yeah, getting closer.
About an hour and 10 minutes left.
Jose, yeah.
That's gonna be, you're gonna crush your goal.
Oh, yeah. That's an estimated 3 hours, 20 minutes.
June, that's gonna be questionable.
Yeah.
Is the permit approved already? Is it sitting on hold?
Yeah. Well, I gave them basically 2 weeks to get everything there and set up. That's, you know, they, all the nutrition stuff from vendors, they have that. Porta potty. Gotta have all of that.
Yeah, but right now they're not doing it. But the vendors are probably like, let's go.
Yeah. Well, they've already been paid. They don't do anything. But you have to have the city, right? You gotta have the Williamsburg,
The current hot zone.
yeah. Right, they work.
How you guys feeling?
Oh, it's awesome.
Jerry, how long have you been rowing for?
33, 36.
Okay, good. How you feeling, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm feeling.
Ah, feeling good. Heart rate's at
Good.
160, feeling strong.
Yeah, he's got like a 220 pace.
That's awesome.
Jerry, gotta hurry up.
Yeah. That might be a good idea.
Maybe run around the block with him. But then I'll tag team and run around the block. I don't do it. Yeah, there's no problem.
That's breezy.
Yeah, it does.
Jerry, I like how you set your angle up. That's a really good angle, too. It's a lot brighter.
The angle of my hand. Not into the sun. Maybe it's not. We wanted you to capture the moment and color.
Yeah. Looks good.
Heart rate 163.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I can do it for 30 minutes without padded shorts. After that, try shorts and get it for my buddies.
You gotta have some kind of cushion.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about that half marathon road. Like, pushing that.
Got a goal.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what to wear.
Your bike shirt.
Track it or track it. Perfect.
Definitely don't need to talk.
Yeah, if you do it at home.
And look at it. There's no cameras or anything.
Yeah.
They're not.
Or a tight fitting tank or jersey.
Wear a skin suit.
Okay, that's a little too far. We're gonna boycott that right now. Your friends will laugh at you.
Yeah.
They won't see.
And then wear your arrow helmet with it. That would be awesome. Just throw my helmet. Oh wait, I have in my car.
All right, just hit 14,000 left.
Woo!
We can away. Are you on the fan, Don?
Huh?
Are you on the fan?
I like that one. The Wahoo one's my mom though.
That's the one you like the most, the Wahoo one?
Well, it's because it's tied to my heart rate. So if I'm bombing down a hill at 40, but I'm not working, it's in low. If I'm climbing a hill at 5 miles an hour, it's hard to hear the music. It's a smart, I mean, it's an expensive fan, but that modulator they put in there that can tie your heart rate, well,
That's money, yeah. That's definitely money.
the cool thing is you can put it in manual mode too, but I just have it tied to my heart rate. Some people do it to speed, but if you're not working, if you're going down a hill, what does that do? So I keep it on heart rate. Ice bath too.
Food.
I got a cookie in my fridge.
I got a whole bag of snacks over there. I come prepared, like my little diaper bag.
Yeah. Yeah. You were too. I learned after that 10K, I better have it.
You get the blisters.
Yeah.
I was telling someone else that they actually made that growing glove. They just covered these areas. That's it. Finger glove, that's it. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Tomorrow, bad. Like trying on a new kid, we're in for a race.
Yeah. I might go to cryotherapy today and get her rehydrated. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Did you? When I call over there, Catherine knows I'll do this. If I call over there, she's like, do you want to come to your service? We'll come to you.
Yeah.
They do actually right now, they have 50% off concierge. You know, so like if the group's doing it, work. All right, that's a 13K left. Yeah. And aerobic heart rates.
Yeah.
I tell you, that fast is the best people did. Because It enables me to focus on that and not kill myself. Right now, I'm still on target. 3 hours. Still chilly. I gotta be careful. Yeah. I need to be careful. So, the last little bit, I'm blowing it up. I'll probably do that every 5 minutes. Too close. And then last 1,000 meters. This. Some of Michelle's workouts we did 30 intervals on 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Light pressure. And before we'll do 15 minutes of 15, so 1 minute on, 1 minute off. 15 intervals.
They get rough.
Oh yeah.
They get rough. And especially when there were so that you posted that you have to keep certain RPM.
Yeah, stroke rate. Yeah.
Stroke rate.
So to be able to maintain a stroke rate, you gotta keep your forward legs.
Yep.
That's when form becomes your best friend. It's hard. But you know what? I keep telling I was like in 10th place at the distance until the last minute. That's when everybody was blowing up. I did a negative split. My form kicked in. Last 30 seconds, see the stars. But I just kept do. Third place, I'm like, yeah. That's when I performed because second nature. At that point, it's another blessing. There we go.
5:30. Perfect time.
Joey's here. Now we gotta tell him the secret. What's been happening the last 5,000 meters.
We gotta keep that to ourselves. That's why, like, how long you think you can go to 500 meters?
Yeah, how long will it take you to do 500 meters? It's a good pace.
Morning, how are you?
Wow. Good. You not look like Ryan.
Joey not show up in running clothes, y'all. Dude, I've been on.
There you go. And here's the shot bucket.
There's no laughing at them.
12K left. Hey, Michelle. She's got her critique sheet ready for you, Bill. Awesome, I just want to hear a couple of whoosh, boom.
Hey, Joey.
I like a bunch of barks at me. Who else?
What's up, Joey?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Is that Bob Newman?
Yeah.
But why such a dorky picture?
We had a teaser earlier. He might be
Yeah.
a teaser.
Nice.
Who's on it?
Bob Newman, is that Nyman? Or the blonde, what's it called?
Oh. Oh, it's gonna get sharp, me. Oh, it's fine. Look, it looks to bring it in later. So how far are we? I'm at 2 hours, 23 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, it's Shalane.
Did you get my chat the other day? I still owe you a 6-pack, Joey.
Hey, yeah, I'll take you up on that. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm not drinking for a month, but you know, at the end of, in 3 weeks, we'll hook it up.
Joey, did you make it all the way through all of my husband's beer?
I got a couple left. I shared some with my neighbors. I'm doing a fasting routine right now. So today was the first day I ate food in a week.
Oh.
So I lost 14 pounds already.
I did. I reminded him, don't make the first meal pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost almost 14 pounds in 1 week.
We were going to the hockey game. So like pizza. Yeah. I had 2 more on and eggs and avocado. A little bit of local sauce.
I can see it in your face. Yeah.
I actually found myself not as enamored with food as I used to be.
Well, and once you're not,
Hey, Johnny, how many more meters do you have? How many more meters do you have left, Johnny?
How many more meters? I'm at 11,400 left. 11,400. How long do I go before I go?
you were just down there 15 minutes ago.
That ain't true.
He's 10 minutes ahead.
Oh yeah, Joey, I am 10 minutes ahead. Hey, so neither one of you.
About 10 minutes. If you're ready to 10 minutes, that'll give me an hour.
How do you do? Jerry said, ain't nobody leaving Johnny on the road. Nope. Michael got off, Jose jumped right off. I told you I was coming at 10:40. You said 10:45. 10:45, I want you to start. Everybody start early because of my face. What?
Nice.
Beer.
You'll lose water weight right away. You let go of that beer.
Oh, I did. It's been a week, so like I said, I was 254 when I started. I was 240.4.
That's awesome.
I love this cool breeze on my back. Yeah, these are great. No, not now they're up over there. You're enjoying that.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel my bottom anymore. What bottom?
Yeah. Somebody explained it like two, I think it was Bob, he said like 2 cue balls under your butt. That's what it feels like I'm sitting on. Woo, that feels good. Not ready?
Oh, yeah. Let me
like the most expensive seats. Oh, shoot.
All right, you're on live feed, buddy.
Okay.
No hating on any rings.
No,
Or rings.
that's a ring. I hate when I'm mistaken.
You want to get him on this road?
Yeah.
Johnny said he's ready for the next split.
I'm ready for some negative shit. The lighting is not good in here.
My camera's on the back side. You can see. You see it, bro? It doesn't-
Gary's camera's got good lighting.
Yeah.
And I want to $70.
How much?
$70.
Yeah, I just thought I should order that long table.
The order's on hold.
I have to add it.
Just to add the
The
table.
long table.
Desk.
The desk. I put my setup in my garage and then in my house. And it's got new curtains.
Email Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Joey, you look like you're about to move in to that erg. You're like setting up like your own space and like your desk, and like you look like you're just like moving into that spot. It's all he's only got 11K left.
It's crowded. My personal space. But distance, buddy.
Getting ready for this serious work. I don't know how else to
Joey,
put my mic yesterday. I felt like I had absolutely zero power.
Joey, can you hear me?
I know.
Say what?
Yeah, I think there's one or two people in the waiting room trying to log in. Would you let them in, like Michael Forgeson? And I don't know if Donna Wolf would try.
How do I do that?
Yeah, I know. I have a Raina is trying to get in as well, and probably Ruth, possibly.
Do I have to do something to let more people in?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
And then it'll pop up at the top. And you accept.
All right. Invite. Where does it say accept?
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
By the name of the top if there's people waiting.
Oh, Michael. Oh, it says admit, not accept.
Admit, yes.
Let's get the terminology right there, techno wizards. There was only one person. It was Michael Forgeron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. He's going to row the last 7,500 meters with Johnny. He did the warm up and started off with them. He's one of my friends from Tuck.
I hope we can keep up with the beast.
Can you see if Raina's trying to get in? She said she just texted me trying to get in, so I'm see if she pops up.
I only see 6.
Oh, my 4 digits left now.
It's only showing
Over
6.
30K done. Over 32K done so far. Good. I got 2 boots left. Not like
Johnny, you in single digits yet?
Are you in single digits yet? Well, Jerry's getting ready to come off. She could take over the computer because that'll be much better. Are you done yet, girl? What the hell?
I got 3 minutes.
Joey is a CB. He's only good with manual tools and some that plug into the wall, but not ones with keyboards typically.
That's right. I'm old school. Can't help it. I'm a
You
dinosaur.
look good, Joey. You look good, man.
14 pounds almost.
Yeah, I can tell already. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Admit. All right, here comes Raina. She's in now. All right. How do I close this little box? Oh, there we go.
Hi, Raina. Nice
Hey,
to meet you.
Raina. Welcome, Raina. All right.
Oh, we got some more rowers.
So excited.
Call
I love the excitement. That's awesome.
Raina has the best laugh.
I miss you guys so much.
Missed you too, Raina.
Coach, where's your erg? About that.
She's been coaching the whole time, so she doesn't have time to row on the erg.
Exactly. I mean, Bob's right on it. I don't.
Don't back her up, Mr. Bob. Don't back her up. Okay.
Jerry, they're so bad at concept too. You're like, I got
Nice
it.
job, Jerry.
Okay, 1 minute. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm at 9,500.
All right, I'm going to join back in.
May never happen
So
again.
you restarted for each person or what?
Yeah.
What happened? You got to restart for each person.
I will.
Michael, this is going to be about a 2.5 hour workout day for you. That's a big day, huh?
It's a big day, Bob.
Menu?
I went upstairs. I grabbed the clean shirt. You know, I wasn't terribly upset when Michael took a little while to let me in. You know, and I'm gonna jump back in.
There you go. Awesome.
The menu is the one that when you stop, it'll just stop. And when you're done, it'll hit menu. And you can stop and you can do it and stay up. You want 60?
Yeah.
All right, Coach, I'm calling you out. We got to get you a Strava account now because you're cycling. You're going to be standing up paddleboarding soon, and you are obviously rowing. So they've got good rowing stats on there for Strava too. You can inspire us all to row at the same level as you are.
All right, sounds good. I'll have to figure out.
It's easy. It's free.
I'm like old school. I have like paper I write my workouts on. Like I have a book, like a workout log book. Like I'm old school like that.
Oh, that's hysterical. Awesome.
What big sheet? Oh, he needs to be on like a 5. A 4. One. That look good? Right across the ball.
Here we are, guys.
9K left. What yours? Can't reach it. My bad. Wait, can you worry about those settings for me at all? You're gonna want to sit higher. Yeah, I'm gonna put it probably, but it can 6 or 7 here for this. 27. You should have shoulders there. Nothing higher than 7.
Oh, yeah. That feels awesome.
I just get the finish right.
Yeah, for John, bring it home. I'll see what all the fuss is about. This is quite easy.
Says Joey, who's been on there 30 seconds.
Yeah, just wait until Coach starts squeaking you too, Joey.
Okay.
Joey came to
Kidding
practice
yourself right
once and he hasn't come back.
So hungover. Sleep on my
Yeah.
So, Michael, I was just looking at your Strava page and I saw the oxygen meter that you're wearing. You posted a photograph of that. So that would work across any kind of sports dynamics. You know how efficient you're being with your oxygen use. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, it measures oxygen at the muscle level. So as oxygen comes into the muscle and you start working, it measures kind of when it gets depleted. So it sort of works the same way as if you were, you know, if you were measuring millimoles of lactic acid. It's sort of the inverse of it. And it's non-invasive. So it sits there and it kind of lets you tell you where you're, you know, coming up to sort of like threshold and going a little too hard, when you can pull back, you know, and I use it for kind of judging the quality of the workout. So.
Very cool. I have to look into that.
That's really cool. I've never heard of those, actually.
Yeah, there's only kind of one or two companies that do it, and one of them, the one I use, just stopped making them, which was kind of a bummer. But the tech is actually pretty cool, and yeah, but I'll post the graphs from the one we did, like the 10K this morning that I did with Johnny, and then I'll post the ones that I did with my interval work at 9 o'clock, so you can see the difference.
Can you send out, email us what it is? Because is it there? I'm looking for it. I found like a Human one or something.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one? Okay.
Yeah, and it sits, you can't really see it, but it just sits right there on top of my quad. And it's got a light sensor, kind of like the Garmin, except it's got a couple of more of them. And it measures kind of the color change in muscle. Right, so as the muscle oxygenates, it gets kind of redder to the light, sort of deal. And thank you. You gave me like 2 minutes to stop there.
I saw that.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Hey, can somebody let Ruth in to the meeting?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, and there's 7 chats, so let's see here.
82.
All right.
Oh, hi, Ruth. Good to see you.
I think that's everyone's in now. Oh, got people rowing with you.
Boom. Not too bad. No, that's pretty good. It's going to get worse in about 10 minutes. Yeah. Ruthie, what's up, girl? Yeah, I know, right? 8K left. Hey, Michelle, you got your wish. I'm rowing.
What'd you say?
I said you got your wish. I'm on a rower.
You are on a rower.
I got my gangster form.
Hey, this is for y'all. I forgot.
Okay.
If y'all try it, it's $40 off.
Where is it from?
That's the home shop, $40 off.
So, Michelle, I just texted you Michael's workout from March 19th, where he shows the graph he's using on that oxygen measurer.
Yeah.
And that will give you a link so you can join Strava with us too. So it's a 2-for-1 text from me.
Oh, thank you very much.
Is it raining like this where everybody else is today? I'm down in Sandbridge. It is coming down sideways.
It was like that, like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes ago or something at my house. But right now it's pretty just like drizzle.
They said like, oh, we're going to have some drizzles for 1 or 2 hours this morning. That's a lot more than drizzles.
I asked them to say for my knees, for my neck.
My poor husband is building a fence right now in this rain outside.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
It must be mission critical to be working out in the rain like that to get a fence up.
Just motivated, I guess.
We're just not right in the head sometimes.
Bingo.
For the week. Hey, the week. Yeah. But throughout the week, but I still had like all that day and tomorrow. But really not. I think I'm naturally gifted at this, Michelle.
You look like you're exerting very little energy. You're good. You need a refill on drinks or anything?
Huh?
Refill on drinks or anything?
I'm good. I got a whole bottle. I did go through 2 bottles.
Yeah.
So is this Strava thing so that you all can stalk my workouts?
Yes.
Say it again. Say it again. What about Strava?
Yeah, that's not very good for being competitive. Then everyone knows what you're doing and how you're doing.
It's so we can cheer you on.
So what's good about my like hard book is that nobody knows, like no other teams or anything would know what my times were. I remember I got back from training all summer, pulled my first 6K of the season, pulled like a 153 or 152, something like that for my 6K. I was so pumped. I told one of my friends who was at a neighboring school, and my coach, like, it was like the worst thing I'd ever done.
$7K left.
Nice. Congrats. And oh man,
Norma said,
getting excited.
And you currently at a 218.
How's your pacing looking, Johnny?
good. Average is 25, 26 strokes per minute. Yeah, that's format. Yeah. Smoothies. Not so much, Joe. Look. We're going to compare watts per kilo after this. I love how we compare everything except for your extra high cholesterol. Hey, they're no longer high. Yeah. Our watts per kilo is fairly enhanced. Yeah. Realizing now some vagabond between the Chiefs and the yeah. Joey's looking for a Clayton's draft right now. That's right. All right, Joe. What? Pretty soon we're going to do some dropping the pace a little bit. I get. Don't get too excited like our sprint's a little freak. start when I got 6K left. What? Some people bugging me in here. No. Stop.
So it looks like Strava actually does have rowing, but it looks like since you have to do GPS, I'm thinking it's trying to track you, right? So if you're rowing on the water.
No, you can share it out with Concept too.
Okay.
And live rowing if you want to give that a try.
This is gonna be your longest row, Jeff? Probably. How long it takes you? I got less than 30 minutes left. All right. We hit the 500, we'll do 5 hard pulls. We'll do that every 500 meters. So speed it up. Then maintain a normal pace in between. So we've got a split time motion. It's hard. Your goal is to row at a pace, at this pace here, but then we'll drop the pace, make it faster, 500 times. Every 500 meters. 5,500 will do 5 hard pulls. I'm interested to see how many hard pulls I got in me. I got 3,000 meters under my belt. Yeah. We don't want to count my meters.
6, 58, 158.
Looking good.
With a split, I would. Your last 1,000 meters, I'll do 3 hard pulls. All right. Get ready to do 5 hard pulls. Hey, ready? 5 hard.
think I just broke it. Yeah, I know. I'll take some BCAs now. Thank you. Embrace the suck, Joey. Clean the cheeks. I like to be comfortable on them. Embrace the suck. Look at it. Any man that enjoys asking, I don't know. Take a train anywhere else. You don't even do something like that. You gotta do it. Like, oh, I'm on. I fucking powered out. I bought one of the mods and holding that. And you want you to listen. I did one. Did one of my ankles. Okay. Nice. Ready, Joe? Yeah, I'm done. There we go. 5. Motherfucker. Yeah! That's on a week of fasting. I must have done recently.
Oh, Joey.
Oh, I feel that in my gut. Everybody's enjoying Joey and pain. I thought he was grabbing the kick bucket. No, that's less than a 5K ago. Less than a 5K.
Let's see. Chatting. Bob wants to know if you're going to drop the hammer on Joey for the last 4K.
Last 1,000.
He said the last 1,000 he will.
Bring it, bitches.
All
Joey
right.
has to keep up with Johnny, right?
Oh, my, it's fine.
Poor Joey.
So the last 1,000, that'd be 3 hard pulls, that'd be 100.
Right on.
Yeah, my average for the whole ride is 222.
2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah, look at my average. That's me.
Oh, sorry. Look at that. 222.
I'm just saying, I don't even train this. Compare your time.
Joey's been on it for 21 minutes. You go there.
I'm just saying. I'm all fucking fault. Ready to go? Yeah, 5 hard.
1.
Yeah! 124. Woo!
I'd say Joey's a little ball of muscle, but the fact of the matter is he's just a big ball of muscle.
Yeah. Where's Michael? He should have brought the paddle. Okay.
Joey, did the erg move when you were yanking that hard for those 5 pulls?
That means you're more wrong.
Good boy, Michelle. I'll be proud of you.
My four's off red. Block. Got like 20 minutes of road time. That's good. That's good. 20 minutes left. Or less.
You could do it faster than that.
I really feel like my legs after that last one. Yeah, I'm on top of shit, but I can move it pretty good. All right, there we go. We're like a TV now. 4K. Under 4K. Yeah. Woo. Oh, that's great. 430s. 34. I didn't go as hard. Michelle. Somebody call that team and order me some new bibs. They want to go rolling. Yeah, these are a cent. I need summit. All right, then we got 40 meters. We can find mark. Follow your lead. Just say go when you're on the down. Two strokes and you go. I like how Joey's doing half pulls to the heart. Four, reach. Oh. 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 I gotta motivate me. I gotta stop doing that. What you got? Don't worry, once you get to 1,000, there's 100 meters. But only 3. Okay, might be other 2. Those spikes raise it up.
All right, Michelle, this is great. Motivating.
Woo! We get them cookies. This part will lower my stroke rate. Drop. Our school time is the exact same, 1.9. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's my average over 3 hours. I know you've been on there for 3 hours. What time are you going to say it, motherfucker? You know, you're a senior. I got to repeat shit for you. Oh.
You tell him, Jerry.
Get home. Yeah, that's all my guns. Yep. I ain't got any guns. I don't got guns anymore. Fucking, what do you call it? Active shooter. Three pulls and 5 bars. That's the 3,000. That's the 3K. Ah! Why does that hurt so much after? Called anaerobic heart rate, though. Don't be saying big words on me.
Johnny, you are an absolute machine. You have not changed form or repetition since you started over 3 hours ago. It's amazing, man.
I'm not done, baby girl. That's me making all the noise. Sorry. You ready? Hi, Jen. He flips the button and 2 minutes. And we love you with the compliment. It's just like, shut up, you. Yes. Give me 10 more minutes, Joe. You be off the road. 2 more minutes, then. Yeah. Oh, 10. Oh, okay. I can do that. You're right, my button up now. Okay. Yeah. Imagine what that one would be like. All right, you ready for 5? Yep. 2 strokes. 1, 2, go. Brain heart rate down.
What's going on?
Brian doing it. Where's he going?
He's helpful. So he's kind of my favorite of the month.
Where's he going? Ready? He's first. On to the 2K mark. That's the 2K girl. Less than 2K. Less than 2K. What that means? Yay.
All right, less than 2K to go.
Yeah. He's at 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Hey, Shalane's back up.
I've been here just trying to get my toddler dressed.
Always the best part of the morning. I can't believe it's 11 o'clock already. Johnny's been at this for over 3.5 hours.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to share my screen real quick before they get to the last K, because I just found the picture of me with my Canadian rowing squad from up at Tuck. You guys are going to laugh when you see this picture of me next to all these giants. Michael in the middle there, he's on the far right of this photograph. So let's see if I can get this.
I know. I should have put there. You know, fucking sad. I can't help it. No, it's my nature, man. Yeah.
Can you guys see this, my screen now?
Nah, I still see you.
Every 100,000 will do 300 pulls, 3 hard pulls every 100 meters.
Choose to quit Zoom now. Okay, so I would have to restart my system, so I'm not able to share the photograph, unfortunately.
You can pull it up on your phone and then show your phone.
Ah, there you go. I love solutions.
I'm an adaptive rowing coach. I'm full of solutions.
All right, so let's see here.
Michelle, are you local out here?
I am. Yeah, I run
Oh.
Virginia Beach Veterans Rowing.
Dang, look at that.
Can you see it okay? I'm the little guy in the middle in a SEAL Team 2 t-shirt, and those other guys are like twice my size. That's what a proper rowing squad looks like. They're all like over 6'6".
You look like a coxswain.
And they are the most gentlest giants you've ever met in life. They were all the nicest guys I've ever met. They're just phenomenal athletes, great human beings.
1370.
Yeah, 1370.
He's so efficient. You can't even tell when he drinks that there's any change.
That's what I was saying. It's like just beyond, it blows my mind that he's been doing this for over 3 hours now, and he hasn't like changed his pace or form or anything.
Hasn't even flipped his grip. I remember when CrossFit Games athletes did this and they were like trying all different hand positions and moving around, and
That's where I would just turn off the TV because I'm cringing. It's so hard and it's not any more efficient.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, right? Like if there was a more efficient way to do it overall, you'd be doing it in that form. So just stick with the proper form, right? And that's the most efficient way to do it, whether you're going for 1K or 10,000K, right?
Oh my gosh, row like rowers row, and that is efficient. That's like mind blowing. Boom, mind blown that there is like people out there who actually coach the sport, teach the sport, and then like they teach an efficient way, and everyone's like, no, that's no. I do it this way. It's so much better. Oh God.
Joey, how are you? Good. Fantastic. 2 strokes?
One, 2, 3.
Woo.
Joey's got 8:50 left. That's 3 hours and 15 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, Johnny, where's your heart rate, buddy?
177.
Woo! Oh my God, way to finish strong, dude.
1 stroke.
What are we meter wise? What are we at?
Jerry, how many meters are they at right now? Well, Johnny, we love Joey, but we care mostly about Johnny right now. So.
195, 9700.
If you're just doing that 700 left.
Are you ready? 3.
1, 2, 3.
Two pulls, then go. 1, 2, 3 hard.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
You're at 5:45 and 3 hours and 17 minutes. Strike rate was not 270. Heart rate still 175.
2 strokes. 1,
Less than 500.
2, 3 hard.
1, 2.
Get up.
Got it. Nice. Heart rate 180.
Good thing my max is 198. How do you feel? This? That was 2 years ago, buddy. Yeah. We're all ready now. Oh.
Joey's going into like his little fetal position ball there on the erg. He's like rolling into like a little bit of a ball, like he's hunching over and kind of like balling up.
How many meters do they have left?
You can keep going.
All right, Dad. 3 pulls and 3 hard. 1,
I can't hear them.
2,
3 hard.
3 hard.
1, 2, 3. Nice. 260 left. He's at 318.21. Heart rate back to 177.
Hey, my heart rate might have broken.
No.
2 pulls and 3 hard. 1,
I got it.
2, let's go.
3 hard. 1, 2, 3. All right, 178.
Almost there.
Almost there. 130.
3 hard, or 3 soft, and then 3 hard.
1,
Nice job, guys.
3. Down to 100. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're almost there. Yeah.
It's going.
Woo!
It's taking it home.
Do it.
Here you go.
Got that. Less than 9. He's going to be 120. 319.26. Woo!
Johnny, did you do 9,000 meters?
Awesome job.
319. Wow.
It was awesome.
Awesome. Good job, Johnny.
Nice work, Johnny. That was a work, brother. That was a work. That's amazing. For anybody that cares, his heart rate is actually coming down. It's at 174, 172, so it's good.
All right, we're gonna set this up to concept 2, and we're gonna rank it amongst the other adaptive athletes in the world real quick. Okay. See if I sucked or I'm good.
You're pretty good.
So I did it in 3 hours, 19 minutes, 26 seconds.
Awesome.
Beat your time. His time was.
Yeah, my goal was 3:30.
Congrats, Johnny. That's awesome.
I think I had something to do with it.
It was all you did.
20 minutes.
8 goos and 3 bottles of BCAAs. That's what's up.
We didn't even see you drinking those things. That's how efficient you were on there. That's
Yeah.
incredible, Johnny.
It's good. One bottle.
Hold on. All right. Oh, now I can hear everybody. Let's see what concept 2 says.
Hey, Michelle, I got 9,000 meters, man. That's my longest row ever.
Great job, Joey. Great job. Yeah,
Oh, just make it an even 10K.
it's awesome.
I can see why I don't like doing this. It
You
hurts
want
your
to come to
butt.
practice once in a while?
Yeah. I mean, I see your point. Oh, man.
All right, let me hit rank. See what happens.
Woo.
Ranking.
All right, so Michael, thanks for dialing in. When Michelle gets those boats in the water and we get this COVID thing down, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get our Canadian squad down to the Hampton Roads area.
This is my first marathon.
Michael.
3rd in the world out of 7.
Can y'all see that?
Oh, man. Congratulations.
Awesome job.
15. I gotta drop 4 minutes.
Let's
No, I'm
see.
kidding. You look under the female stats. What number? 301. He's a Brit. So, you know,
I think he's looking at the female stats. I'm just saying.
Awesome. Can everybody see that?
Oh.
Oh.
Joey, when you were pulling those hard pulls, it looks like you're trying to break the erg.
Yeah.
I was.
Good thing he works for the USO. He can replace it.
Everything's fixable, replaceable, whatever. I know my form.
Not right now. They're sold out. You can't. Those things are money right now.
Yeah.
I've never known a time when Concept 2 was sold out of ergs. I mean, it's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Try and buy a dumbbell or a bench press or an erg right now. Like forget about it.
Wahoo too.
Yeah. Wahoo's on a month-and-a-half back order.
Yeah.
So that's the 20. That's the
I keep
20.
telling all my athletes that want them, I'm like, just email all the gyms in the area wherever you live and say, hey, I'm looking for this equipment. Are you willing to sell it or rent it? Because they need the cash flow and you want the erg and the equipment. And
Yeah. They'd be smart to rent them out to people.
I have to have songs.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Or
Inlet
even if-
is renting equipment.
yeah, and if you belong to the gyms, you could say, hey, in lieu of me putting my membership on hold, would you be able to loan out this equipment to me? You know, that type of thing. So, because a lot of people are putting their gym memberships on hold, whereas they could just say, hey, if you just keep charging me, I just want to borrow this a piece of equipment.
I couldn't do 3 hours. I can do an hour. I mean, I was okay at 45 minutes.
All right, Johnny, I got a question for you.
I'm coming. Let me get a chair.
Oh, here. You want
Oh, I got my speaker.
right here.
I don't need that's Jose. I don't need to put my sweat on his seat. Who wants my ass? Nobody. All right, I'm done.
That was awesome. Very inspiring. If somebody had told me that I would have watched somebody row on an erg for 3.5 hours, I'd have been like, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I was tired of watching myself on the video.
Oh, man.
So compared to, so 3 hours and 20 minutes, under 3 hours and 20 minutes compared to 6 hours in the saddle.
Well, remember I ride in a C-130 seat. You do
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Well, on a saddle, you can jump up on
Yeah.
the saddle.
The thing is, on a saddle or even my bike, you can shift. If you shift off here, you come subject to, well, landing on the rail, and that would hurt.
Yeah.
So I did like maneuver like a little bit every 5 minutes, which helped a lot. But definitely, that was not easy.
Well, I'd love to, I'm just, because I'm a data dork. I would love to see the comparison of what your row calories per hour were over the 3
I got
hours.
that because my
Versus
thing.
riding your bike for 3 hours and 20 minutes. I suspect you're burning more calories rowing than cycling for sure.
Oh, definitely. I feel like I just did a century.
Okay, so that's the comparison I was looking for. Like, does it feel like you did about 100?
I did. I feel like I did a 19 to 20 mile an hour century.
Wow. That's incredible.
And
Bobby, you ready to come to practice?
Yes, I am.
I think I checked that box for a week. But I will say, because like in a recumbent, you don't use your hamstrings, and Joey can validate that, right? Yeah. Well, you use them here, so I'm using muscles I don't use.
Yeah.
And so the good thing is it's a full body workout. If you think rowing is not a workout, well,
That's a really good workout.
Yeah. I'm 10 minutes away from full Normatec session. I'll say that.
Michelle to teach me how to row again.
Jose and I are going.
You got it, Joey.
Yeah. So now thank everybody for coming out here. This was definitely, I broke some walls down that I didn't ever think I could break down. That was my first marathon. My first half marathon was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was really cool. I'm glad Shalane picked Taper Week on the Sherwood Swift cycling group all week. That really helped me out.
Nice.
So, which was good because, we were able to tailor my TSS, and then I came in here, at only -5 on the fatigue, which was good on the training peak. So that was really good. Now I probably jacked that up today, but it was still good.
So I've known you for just about 4 years now. You're about as fit as I can ever remember seeing you, Johnny. So
Yeah, about 30 pounds lighter than from when
I can't wait to
you
get.
met me. I was about 215. I'm about 175 right now.
Nice.
Yeah, Jasmine's got my old Gap sweatshirt, little fleece, and she calls it her Fat Daddy sweatshirt. So, but that's when that's when I was on Oxy 3 times a day, eating what I want. I get back from a bike ride. I would pound beer.
Yes, sir.
So it was definitely not the right thing, and then going through, utilizing nutrition has definitely helped out.
Smashing your greens.
But I'm definitely cooked. Oh, Jamie, she wants admit. How do I do this?
Participants.
Participants.
And then at the top.
Oh, she went away though. Where'd she go?
Oh, she might have been waiting a while to get in there, maybe.
I
She
didn't
gave
even,
up on you. Yeah.
She gave up. Yeah.
Was it Janie?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell her to try again. I didn't realize she was texting me. Whoops.
Oh,
Click on
she
that
just
again.
said badass work. She texted me.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So.
That's awesome. Well, go get in those Normatechs, man.
Yeah, enjoy.
Next ice bath, and apparently there's cookies in my kitchen. So.
Don't let Joey win.
Woo.
All right, love you guys. Have a good one.
All
Oh,
right.
there's-
Oh, Jamie's coming in. Here we go.
Hey, nice work. Just wanted to say you're badass.
Yeah. Yeah. My ass says it's bad.
That's so rad, man. Good job.
Yeah. I'm done. Thanks for everybody. It was really cool.
I hope you have a good lunch.
Yeah. Lunch and Normatech session.
Cookies and Normatech.
Yeah. I got the legs and then the hips.
Nice. Oh, those are the best.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, Johnny. Great job, man. And
All
thank
right.
you.
Enjoy. Congratulations.
Yep. All right.
Congrats.
All right, Coach.
Bye.
See you
Everybody,
soon.
thank
I
you.
hope soon.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Yeah. I don't know how to turn this.
Yeah.
He said something
Bye.
about leading
Right there. In the
in,
meeting.
and then he said it should ask us if we want to save it.
Okay. So we're going to end, and we want to end the meeting for all.